So I'm going to explain the need I have regarding publishing data sets and data-rich documents and what I want, which I don't have at the moment, which is a really easy way to do that in, in a way that also I get to own my data sets and control them in a good way. So I'm still on Data Hub. Data Hub is a data marketplace and a place for publishing data sets. And it's actually been around for like 15 years or more, now actually longer, almost 20 years. And I built the original version of it. And the thing is, it's based on publishing data sets in a very simple structure, which I'll come to. But here's an example of a data set that's published there. It's this oil prices. Here are these files. It's generally focused on publishing relatively small data sets, but you could publish big ones. And you can see, that there's this various CSV files. That most of them are only maybe 100 kilobytes or something like that, or even tens of kilobytes. And yet, they're useful data. This is oil prices over time. Okay, but the context is I want to publish more data sets. We want to publish them. I want to make it easier for community and ordinary people to publish data sets, and including myself specifically. And I want to do it very quickly. In particular, I want to make it pretty kind of like wiki-like to curate, quick to curate and to publish them, and then iterate on them. They don't have to be perfect to start with. And what I often do today, just to illustrate, is the actual structure that I prefer for these data sets, and it's a little bit specialist, so maybe I should say something about that, is that the data sets look like, that's behind that, look like, let's have a look, oil prices, there we are. They look like this, which is, they're very simple. They have a README, and then they have some data files around, and then this is how it ends up getting published. There's this data package JSON that's specific. I want to get even simpler than that. I don't have to have this special data file here. I just want to create a README and insert data sets into the README. That's the simplest thing I want to do. So I illustrate what I do today is like I come across a data set. This is what I want to show on the web. Like I just find this for whatever reason, I'm searching around. And I think, oh, wow, this is pretty interesting. And even better, by the way, I won't go into it, but this data set is open. I have access to it. But I bet this data set will disappear offline. And it's a great, well, even if it doesn't, I'd like to curate it into Data Hub. I'd like to have a listing for it there. And I would like to archive the data. So what I'd quickly normally do is I would go to here. And the quickest thing I now do at the moment is I create an issue. Literally, I'll type something in it like epoch data on AI. What is this? On AI models, okay? And then I'll probably grab some information, comprehensive data bars tracking like that. So that's the kind of description of what it is, first line. I'll probably capture a screenshot like this. I often want a screenshot of the page just to give people a sense of what this is. So I'll copy a screenshot and I'll paste that here, and that's uploading. And then what I really want is the data. So I've got this data here. I'll download this data, which I did, let's say, earlier. And the key point here is I'll download this. There's a bunch of data. Okay, you won't be able to see it on my screen when I go there just because I'm only sharing one window. But basically, if I open this this zip file that I've got a bunch of CSV files here. And I like just to drag these, frankly. In a perfect world, I would come here and I would drag them. And I'm going to upload them. Here we are. It's going to upload them. Very good. And preview. I'm just going to have links here, which is not what I'd want. I want to see a nice table. And I can then create this, and that would be the simplest thing. And I'd maybe write some more about it. What I'd then like to do actually is add a graph of some kind quite quickly based on these in some way. So that's what I'm working. I'd really like to see. And I'd like to have that in a proper markdown of my own. So rather than doing GitHub issues where I then can publish it, I'm producing the kind of structure like this, a README and some data files next to it. That's all I want really. And there are many things I could then add that I might want to do better, but that's for the future of that. So yeah, very good. That's what I'm trying to build, is something that allows me to do what I almost showed you in a GitHub issue, but in my own editor, and then persisted to a backend like R2 or something like that. And where I also can now then add additional features, which I could discuss later, like I can insert graphs and I can maybe specify things about the data and so on and so forth. Great.